With the new Elder Scrolls Online Necrom expansion coming up and the game getting more popular, I wanted to give my thoughts on this game as a new player. I actually did try before on launch, but I hated the experience as it was full of bugs, performance issues and it didn't really nail the feeling of a true Elder Scrolls game. But now, after trying it again in 2023, it caught me by surprise. Big time. Just like the popular bald king of MMOs when he first tried the game.
Can you make the boobs bigger? Chest size. That's it?
Okay, so first up, the game optimization is finally good, no complaints here. But the best thing that has improved is of course the very game itself. It finally captures some of the magic of a true Elder Scrolls game. Notice I said some because it isn't like the mainline series since it's an MMO after all. But that is also what makes this game great in its own right. The Elder Scrolls games are known for sinking a ton of hours into them, and so are MMOs. And this game mixes the best of both into one. And while I still prefer the mainline single player Elder Scrolls games like Oblivion or Skyrim, this is the experience I wanted when I was thinking of playing Elder Scrolls with friends. And I can have both now. The game takes a lot of inspiration mostly from Skyrim in terms of combat, interface and progression. I definitely prefer playing Elder Scrolls games in first person for the immersion. And it's what I do here mostly too. But you can also play in third person and it works way better than in any other Elder Scrolls game. So that's a huge win for ESO. I do strongly recommend playing in third person while in group dungeons so you can see everything that happens around you and know what you need to dodge. But while questing in the open world, I prefer playing in first person and it works perfectly fine. The graphics of the game look nice, especially in the expansion zones. Considering this game is from 2014, it still holds up pretty well. But holy shit, the music is so beautiful. Many of my favorite themes of Morrowind, Oblivion and Skyrim are redone in this game and they sound just as great. Just hear for yourself. The combat is simple but does the job, and you can really customize your own build. And similar to Skyrim, you get better at what you do. So if you use two-handed weapons a lot, you unlock new skills for your two-handed perk tree. But another huge plus is many different zones from all of Tamriel are playable now. And even though the maps themselves are smaller, it's great to discover many great different areas. Getting bored of the cold and dark areas of Skyrim? Go visit the Somerset Isles for beautiful color nature and beaches. Or just visit Vardenfell every day because it's the best looking zone in the game. But for real, the best things about this game, especially compared to many other MMOs, are the world, story and quests. Everything, and I mean literally every NPC and quest is voice acted.
It's about bloody time you buoyant armchairs showed up. I sent a request for assistance almost an hour ago and... Oh, hello.
Which is insane for an MMORPG. This really helps making the quest and story feel alive and even better. And most quests aren't your typical gather 10 bear pelt quests, because even every side quest has a small story going for them, which makes the world really immersive. But the main story and zone quest is where things get even better, and tell even greater stories with the in-game cutscenes, which is really worth playing on its own. I do have to say they sometimes begin a little slow and boring, but mostly end in a great high tense plot and fight. I love playing this game solo and with friends, and you can really play at your own pace. You can go anywhere from the start and play every zone in every order. It even scales to your level so you can flat out play with friends and newcomers as well. And the community is literally the best I've ever seen in an MMO, as I literally get stuff daily for free from other players. But that's not the only reason, of course. No, but for real, they're really welcoming and helpful, which made my experience so much better as a new player. Compared to other MMOs, I think ESO nails something unique. I've played World of Warcraft since vanilla and not a single MMORPG has beaten that experience for me. But this may legit be the first time another MMO tips that experience for me and gives me a true magical experience in another world. But also because it's so similar how WoW used to be. A truly open world full of adventures, many great quests to discover and a welcoming community. And while WoW is still great, many things have changed there, especially the world itself. All the old content is outdated besides the latest expansion, making the playable world feel really small. You don't get rewarded for playing outside the 4 zones of the newest expansion, Well, everything in ESO is viable thanks to its skilled rewards. Because once you hit the item level cap, you can get gear with that item level anywhere in the world. And once max level, you keep leveling your champion points wherever you go. Elder Scrolls Online works hard to stay true to that experience. I keep discovering new beautiful places, engaging quests and friendly players around the world. In the latest Bethesda Direct, the game director kept making similarities between the mainline games and ESO. And if you're a fan of the Elder Scrolls, whether you want to play solo or with friends, I do agree and also recommend this game. If you love Morrowind, go visit Vardenfell again. If you love Oblivion, go find Mehrunes Dagon again and visit the Oblivion Plains. If you love Skyrim, why not visit Solitude for an almost exact copy of the city so you instantly know your way around. Even if you haven't played those games and you just love MMOs in general, and especially the story and questing experience the most, I also do recommend this game. For me, it's both, and that's why I fell in love with ESO. And I do look forward a lot to the new expansion. Morrowind is my favorite zone in the game, and I can't wait to visit again in Necrom, while also visiting the realm of hermaeus Mora himself called Apocrypha, and of course to play the new arcanist class. Apocrypha and the arcanist may look familiar if you played the Dragonborn DLC of Skyrim, so if you want to basically be Mirak, pick the new class. Anyway, at the moment of writing this review, or my experience, while ESO isn't perfect, it's currently my favorite MMORPG to play. And for the first time ever, I've quit WoW for another MMO. But also because it reminds me of the magic WoW used to have. It isn't necessarily better, because I do think WoW's combat, instances and PvP is better. But I do prefer ESO's big open world where everything is viable. But also it's fully voice acted quest and it helps not being forced to pay a monthly sub. You can buy a monthly subscription for ESO for access to all the DLCs and some other extras, but the main game alone already has hundreds of hours of content. Overall, it's a true Elder Scrolls experience with a ton of content, but then online, as the name of course suggests. And even though you trade in some of that true magic the Elder Scrolls game captures to play online, it's a worthy trade-off to play it with friends or other great players you meet online. And hey, even if you do prefer the single player Elder Scrolls games like me, you have to do something while waiting for Elder Scrolls 6, right? Or are you going to buy Skyrim again for the 5th time? I think ESO is great in its own right, and both experiences can live side by side. ESO is created by different developers than the mainline series, so it doesn't take away resources and you can of course play both games. Or maybe you're just tired of your current MMO and wanna try something for a change. The base game with the Morrowind expansion, which in my opinion is the best one, is currently on sale for €6 at the moment of making this video. But if you missed it because you watched this video later, don't worry, keep an eye open as it goes on sale regularly. But even the normal price for €20 is worth it in my opinion. There's literally so much content that it can keep you busy for a very long time. And while it's not perfect, the heartwarming community is. And I do hope the Bald King of MMOs himself will give this game a try again once the new expansion launches.
Holy shit, that is so many fucking people, man.
But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this game, and if you want to see more RPG content, feel free to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you liked it, or by liking the video of course. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.